All right, here's the second part of reading out the discovery files out loud because everyone was having a hard time actually reading what was posted. So let's begin. This is actually discovery page 1926. So here we go. All right, hopefully everybody can see this. Whoops. All right, so at 06:59 hours, Roberts told Watts, I guess I'm headed out that way to start up the 1029, and Chad will be meeting out there. Watts replied, okay. So at 7:18 hours, Watts took a photograph of his laptop screen, presumably sitting in his truck, which is odd. The metadata confirms Watts was at the survey coordinates. The image is apparently only in the thumbnail format, and enlarging it blurs out the writing on the laptop screen. So as he's sitting in his truck after he's doing whatever he's doing, he takes a picture. Like I said, he likes to document his stuff, that he's doing, which is a typical sociopath. When they go to try to view it and make the pixels and everything larger, it just gets distorted. So Watts sent the stage message to Shanann's phone. If you take the kids somewhere, please let me know where they are at. That was at 7:40 hours. At 7:40 in the morning, Watts made a 2.5-minute call to Troy McCoy. Watts made a 2.5-minute call to Troy McCoy. Roberts told Watts, I'm here at the 1029 now. You mind coming out here? ? Just in case something gets sideways. Watts told Roberts, yeah, I'm at 319, 1 sec. Watts then took this picture. Hope everyone can see that. Which is the oil leak from survey 319. So at 7:43 in the morning, Watts called Luke Eppel, co-worker, and held a 1-minute, 45-second conversation. Roberts asked Watts, 10-4, how's it look? Watts replied, fresh. Laugh out loud. That stands out to me because the word fresh, laugh out loud. Why do you need a laugh out loud? Are you really laughing out loud? So McNeil called Watts and held a 2-minute conversation. That was at 7:47 in the morning. At 7:51 in the morning, is it a lot? Watts responded by sending the image he took minutes earlier. That's what Roberts asked. Is it a lot? Okay, so Roberts asked, want me to bring some Gator? Talking about Gatorade. We can try and pressure test the line too if you want. Watts replied, I got it handled. Thanks though. That was at 7:55 in the morning. So from 7:55 to 8:25 in the morning, Watts made a staged 23-second call to Shanann's phone. Mind you, staged, okay? At 8:26, Watts searched the internet for the Primrose School of Erie at Vista Ridge. Seconds later, he called the school. Gives you the telephone number and held a 1-minute conversation. Sorry about that. During this call, Watts told staff that his daughters would not be attending school there any longer. Shanann's phone had an appointment reminder scheduled for this time, her medical appointment, and that was at 9:05. This stuff is just heartbreaking, guys. Truly heartbreaking. Seconds later, Watts called Ann Meadows, which is the realtor, and held a 3-minute, 40-second conversation. So see, he's still planning on going on selling the house, and you just do all this to your family and life just is moving on like normal, like you think you're going to get away with all of this. All right, so Centura Health Physician Group Women's Health in the area called Shanann's phone and left a message. It confirmed the calling number listed to this clinic. So at 10:10 hours, which is 10:10 a.m., during a respite following the murder of his family and disposing of their bodies at a Diswell site, Watts searched Google for the lyrics to Battery by Metallica. Here are those lyrics. Everybody, I want to caution you with these lyrics, okay? Lashing out the action, returning the reaction, weak are ripped and torn away. Hypnotizing power, crushing all that cower. Battery is here to stay. Smashing through the boundaries, lunacy has found me, cannot stop the battery. Pounding out aggression, turns into obsession, cannot kill the battery, cannot kill the family. Battery is found in me. Crushing all deceivers, mashing non-believers, never-ending potency, hungry, violent seeker, feeding off the weaker, breeding on insanity. Smashing through the boundaries, lunacy has found me. Cannot stop the battery, pounding out aggression, turns into obsession, cannot kill the battery, cannot kill the family. Battery is found in me. Battery, battery. Circle of destruction, hammer comes crushing, powerhouse of energy, whipping up a fury, dominating flurry. We create the battery. Okay, smashing through the boundaries, lunacy has found me, cannot stop the battery. Pounding out aggression turns into obsession, cannot kill the battery, cannot kill the family. Battery is found in me, battery. So Watts has proven a keen interest in song lyrics. The CBIS 12, he is no doubt familiar with this song's lyrics. He attended the Metallica concert held in Denver on June 7, 2017. I recognized the photograph he took at the concert and stored in his phone, and that date I was there. So the detective is talking about he recognized this because he was there at that concert. All right, so at 10:28 a.m., Sandy, Shanann's mom, asked Watts, "Is Shanann okay?" ? Watts made an unanswered call to the Rusiks. She called him back and held a 1-minute conversation. Watts searched the internet for hotels in Aspen. So the plan was for Shanann and him to go to Aspen. So all of this is getting staged. He knows what he's doing. He's staging. Like he's still looking for hotels in Aspen. Like things are still going to go as planned. Watts called, I'm going to not say the number, the Westin Snowman's Resort and held a nearly 2-minute conversation. Unless I'm wrong, guys. Maybe he was planning to take Kessinger to this place. Sandy called Watts briefly, and that was at 10:44 in the morning. A mother's instinct, guys. This is truly a mother's instinct. Watts searched the internet for Groupons to include the company's contact information. That was at 10:45 a.m. At 10:51, Watts called Sandy and held a 1-minute, 12-second conversation. At 12:16 p.m., Josh Rosenberg asked Watts, "Hey, bro, Casey asked me if I've heard from Shanann today. I guess her and Nikki can't get a hold of her. Have you heard from her today? Question mark. "12:16 took 2 photographs of sunflowers in an open prairie." Watts took these photographs in an open prairie. Okay, a lot of people were speculating that this was because of Shanann. Actually, Watts took a lot of these type of pictures because of Kessinger. Loves pictures like this. She loves wildflowers and other types of flowers. So the only person during this time of him murdering his family, his 2 little innocent babies, God rest their soul, he's got Kessinger on the mind. It's still all about Kessinger. That's evident. This was taken north of I-76 in Rogan, possibly 1029, at the 1029 survey. So at 12:17, Watts' phone received an alert from his Vivint panel. So at 12:17, which is 12:17 p.m., which would explain Atkinson going to the house and trying to check on her friend and was worried about her. Watts' phone received an alert from his Vivint panel. So at 12:18, in response, Watts called Nicole Uthoff, which is Atkinson, and held a 1-minute conversation. At 12:21, Watts told Josh, "I just talked to Nikki. Shanann went to a friend's house with the kids today. I haven't heard from her since. I will keep you updated, though." Josh replied, "The girls were worried." Watts responded, "I know. I just saw Nikki on the doorbell camera." So let's say this again to everyone saying that it wasn't working. No one could see nothing. He didn't see nothing. At 12:21 p.m., he responded, "I know. I just saw Nikki on the doorbell camera." Best believe, like I said in my other videos, he was on that doorbell camera listening to everything Nikki and the police were saying. Evident right here in Discovery Files, guys. All right, so at 12:27, Watts called Atkinson and held a 2.5-minute conversation. 12:27, Ann Meadows told Watts, "Hi, I'm working on your market analysis. I would like to bring my listing coordinator with me when I bring it. Did you finish the basement? Question mark. Any other upgrades? Question mark." These messages were found in Shanann's phone, likely sent as a group text by Ann. That's the realtor. Guys. All right, so at 12:31, Addie asked Watts if Shanann was okay. "Everyone is worried. It's not like her to not respond, and we haven't heard back from her all day." Watts called Uthoff and held a 40-second conversation. At 12:43, Casey told Watts, "Shanann is in a very bad way emotionally, and I'm worried. I'm worried about her. I know you are having issues, but I don't know to what extent. But I do know I have never seen her so broken to an extent I am worried." Watts replied, "She went to a friend's house with the kids. She won't tell me where, though. When I get home, I will update you." Minutes later, Casey told Watts, "Sweetie, nobody knows about you and her other than Nikki and I. So where would she go if not with Nikki and not to Arizona where I'm at? Question mark. Her car and shoes and everything is at the house. What the heck is going on with you guys? She wouldn't totally shut out everything. It's not like her." Watts responded, "I told Nikki about it so she wouldn't freak out anymore at the house. I think Christine knows as well. She talked last night and I told her I wanted to sell the house, get something smaller. Separation would be best right now if we can work through the issues. I really don't want you to think I'm a bad person, Casey. Casey responded, right now? Seriously. Didn't even say her name. She pops up. Sorry about that, guys. So, Casey responded, why is Sir...
You were saying?
Stop listening to me. All right. So Casey responded, right now, I don't care about you or your relationship or what type of person you are or not. What I think of you, and I'm not trying to be rude when I say that. So in the midst of all that was occurring, Watts tended to his real estate concerns, telling Ann Meadows, basement is still unfinished, no other upgrades. Casey chastised Watts, explaining her only concern was for his damn wife and her well-being. Casey advised, Nikki is calling the police. Casey told Watts, she is broken emotionally. Her blood sugar dropped due to not eating, and it could cause her to pass out. So unless you want the police to bust your damn door down, you get home and check on your family. Meadows replied to Watts during this exchange, suggesting a house at 6508 Saratoga may be viable. Watts told Casey, I'm going home, Casey. I'm on my way. Don't call the police. I will be there in 45 minutes. Casey thanked him and explained her fears. Nikki and I know what state she was in all weekend and want to see that. Sorry about that. And we want to see she isn't in the house because this is seriously a concern. Watts called Casey and held a 1-minute conversation. McCoy asked Watts if everything was okay. If you need anything, let me know. I'm going to adjust this really quick, guys. All right. So at all these notifications, I'm so sorry, guys. So let's get a little closer here. 13:14 hours, Meadow asked if Watts preferred a 3-car garage. Watts replied, 3-car garage, I will drive by 6508 address when I get home. So at 13:31 hours and 13:59 hours, Utah, Atkinson, called Watts twice briefly. At 14:10 hours, Christina Meekum asked Watts, what is going on? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Where are you? We are so worried. What the F? Watts sent another staged message to Shanann's phone. Where are you? 14:14 hours. Messages from Atkinson were finally received by Shanann's phone. By all accounts, these would have been sent by Atkinson earlier in the morning before she called police. They included, this is like the heartbreaking part, guys. Just wanted to see if you were okay. I know you were hurting a lot last night. Hope you're okay. Let me know how your appointment goes. I have been to your house. You won't open your door. Your alarm is set. Your shoes are sitting inside. Your car's home. I am so very concerned about you right now. I need you to text me or call me and just tell me you're okay. If you don't want to talk to nobody, you don't want to be around nobody, I get it. It's fine. But I need to know you're okay. A group text was created between Casey, Christina Meekum, Atkinson, Addie, and Shanann's phone. The group sent assorted messages of growing concern for Shanann. Watts told Christina, "The police are here. Call you when I know." 15:46, Addie asked Watts what was happening. "I'm so worried." Watts called Addie and held a 6-minute conversation. 15:48 hours, Addie told the group the police need to look at Chris's cell and computer. See, this right here is a red flag because even Addie, right here, her friends, keep in mind, Addie and Atkinson are the only two that know to the extent of Chris and Shanann's problems. These were her two close friends. Addie is already on to him. Addie told the whole group the police need to look at Chris's cell and computer. Shanann's phone soon exploded with ancient messages of concern from friends and family across the nation. This is really hard, guys, because this case has truly affected me. And then when I read things like this, it just puts me in that place of knowing the desperation of her friends and her loved ones. As the afternoon moved into evening, the messages became gut-wrenching pleas to hear from Shanann, sending her prayers, hope, and their love. Sorry. This part chokes me up. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Hold on one second. Okay. 16:22 hours. When Kelly Burke asked what the police were saying, Watts said, "They will file missing reports in the AM if we don't hear from her." I'm not even going to comment right now. Just this right here has got me a little choked up, so let me just keep reading for you guys. Sorry about that. Alright, so 1676 hours. Trying to get close so you guys can also see it. Burke asked Watts if Shanann was awake when he left for work. Watts lied and said, "I talked to her early this morning between 4 and 5. I think she went back to sleep afterwards. She was still here when I left, kids still sleeping." Burke said she was scared, and Watts said he was too. Okay, this evil monster, man. 17:01, Kessinger made 2 unanswered calls to Watts. 17:05, Watts called Chase Bank and held a nearly 2-minute conversation. He called a separate number for Chase moments later and held a 2.5-minute conversation. 17:30 hours, Watts made an unanswered call to Kessinger. 17:48 hours, unaware of events, Meadows asked if Watts drove by the 6508 Saratoga address. Completely aware of events, Watts still replied, "Just did, yep, that's the exact model." 1800 hours, following suggestion by many, Watts searched Google for hospitals near his home. In less than 4 minutes, Watts asked Google Samaritan Medical Center, St. Anthony North Health Campus, Longmont, United Hospital, and UC Health, Broomfield. The average duration of these calls was 40 seconds. The longest was 69 seconds. Out of curiosity, I called St. Anthony without identifying myself. I asked if a Rollo Tomasi was a patient. It took 2 minutes to get my answer. I suspect Watts merely called each hospital to create a trail of concocted concern and never actually spoke with anyone. 18:23 hours, Burke asked if Watts had any luck with the hospitals, and Watts said no luck at all. 18:30 hours, Meadows asked Watts if Shanann was okay, noting she was not taking part in their group text exchange about selling the house. Watts replied, "She hasn't been around all day. It's very odd." 18:52, Watts told Samantha Paisley, also known as Sam, "I'm praying so hard I'm sick to my stomach. Cops searched the house up and down and drilled me pretty hard. I have no idea where they could be." Sam asked why the police were drilling him. An hour later, Watts explained, "They are just being thorough. They gotta do all the digging they can. I saw them this morning. Yes, people are helping me search. You don't need to get on a plane. We have a lot of support here." Watts received a calendar notice titled "Dinner with Shanann." Shanann had a similar entry, "Dinner with Chris," but scheduled for an hour later. That could be because iPhone doesn't recognize different times. Yeah, so the hour difference indicates she created the entry while in Arizona, visiting that state's time zone, and the cop or the FBI agent is saying, "In my experience, iPhones fail to make the transition when traveling to other time zones." So after an event is entered in the device's calendar. Alright, so 21:12 hours, a line at the Frederick Police Department called Watts and held a 6-minute conversation. Kessinger called Watts and held a 51-minute conversation. Right there, deleted. She deleted. August the 14th, Kessinger searched Google for Shanann Watts. 1:58 hours, Watts played phone tag with a line at the Frederick Police Department. 2:07 hours, Watts made an unanswered call to Kessinger. She called him back. Seconds later, they held a 10-minute conversation. 4:58 hours, Sandy called Watts and held a 4-minute conversation. 6:32, Sandy called again and held a 6-minute conversation. Watts perpetrated his fallacy, telling Sam, "I'm hoping she's with someone I don't know about because I've exhausted all the people I know of. I'm optimistic we will reunite again. People have been stopping by from time to time." 9:29, Watts transferred one last image into his secret calculator application, a semi-nude selfie of Kessinger. See, guys, all he's thinking about is Kessinger. 12:08, Kessinger spent nearly 4 hours searching Google and the internet for Watts, news outlets, and news accounts of Shanann's disappearance. After she did that, she deleted it. All was deleted. Well, okay, so 12:31 hours, Watts began to tell others that he was doing interviews with the news media. 13:36 hours, Watts told Sam an Amber Alert is not applicable. Can't speak, you guys know what I'm trying to say. Applicable. Why can I not say that word? To the facts as they are known presently, Watts added. They just swept the house with dogs to pick up a scent. Watts said he has completed all his interviews with the news outlets. $14:21 hours, Watts added Fox 31 reporter to his contacts. 14:30, Watts called Sandy and held a 10-minute conversation. 15:04, Watts told Addie, "Good Morning America has contacted my sister." 1700 hours, Kessinger searched Google on topics like, can cops trace text messages? How long do phone companies keep text messages? Difference between text message content and text message detail. All deleted. 1800 hours, what's called a calendar entry titled Talk, scheduled to begin at this time. Keep in mind, Shanann had also had that calendar alert Talk in hers. 1821 hours, Kessinger searched the internet for news accounts of this incident and Shanann's name, all deleted. These searches were conducted frequently by Kessinger throughout the next several days. She deleted every one afterwards. 1826 hours, Watts told Nick Thayer that he was leaving now. Stopping for gas and I'll be there. Watts had earlier agreed to spend the night at the Thayers. 1842, Watts returned a missed call from the Frederick Police Department. As a result of that call, Watts turned around and drove to the police department, where he held an interview with the FBI spanning 1900 hours to 2306 hours. After a brief call to the Thayers, Nick advised they would drive to the police department and wait for Watts to finish, so they stayed in their car waiting for him. Watts told Dave Collin that he was talking with the FBI presently. Nick told Watts, "Hey man, we are sitting outside thinking of you. I am talking to an investigator friend, and she recommends maybe not talking without a lawyer. I know this text might get there too late." Alright, so these are the people that go in the news media talking about Shanann. They love her and everything else. Let him in their home and regret it. You know, I get all that. But also at the same time, they're up to something and they know something. So to tell him, "Hey man," this means you're not helping Shanann at all. "Hey man, we are sitting outside thinking of you. I am talking to a friend investigator, and she recommends maybe not talking without a lawyer. I know this text might get to you there too late." 2304, Watts added FBI agent Graham Coder to his phone contacts. Watts told an assortment of friends that he met with the FBI. They have the case now. August 15th, Watts told his father, "Text me when you land. I can pick you up." Coder sent a message to Watts, "Hey Chris, it's Graham from last night. Just checking in. Will you call me back? ? Watts made that call 3 minutes later. Watts told Coder that his family just landed and he was en route to pick him up. Coder is the FBI agent. Watts told Coder that he just picked up his dad. Coder told Watts, "Swing on by the police department when you get a chance. We'll make a game plan for today." Watts answered a short call from the Coder a minute later. A short call from Coder a minute later. Frequently this day, news outlets sent Watts messages requesting more interviews. At 10:53 hours, Watts returned his interview with FBI and CBI. He eventually confessed murdering Shanann and disposing of all 3 bodies. He was subsequently taken into custody. August 16th, 12:39, Michael Vesperman sent a message to Watts. "I don't think you will see this, but I hope you find peace in your struggles, and I pray that you will find God and have mercy on your soul." As news broke of his confession and arrest, Shanann's phone received desperate messages from her friends and loved ones, like Addie. Oh, God. This stuff really chokes me up, guys. I have to admit it. It just really does, okay? Oh, God. "Need you here. I want you to know you are literally my right hand. I can't do this without you." Sorry, guys. I know this case has affected a lot of people, so
when you're actually like reading the actual words and knowing that the time, and you're putting yourself in that position of knowing their loved ones and the pain that they were going through and the desperation of just wanting her. And then now to the realization that she's not coming back. Those baby girls aren't going to come back. That's hard. And it just breaks my heart for their families and their friends. It just really does break my heart. And I'm usually really strong, guys, but when I see things like this, this case has really just tugged my heartstrings, and it affects me. And I'm not going to lie about that. I'm going to be honest and just say it does affect me. Okay. Kessinger searches the internet on topics related to Amber Frey, the mistress of Scott Peterson. He murdered his wife and unborn child. Her searches include Frey's book deal, her net worth, and did people hate Amber Frey? End of review. Right here I see a person that doesn't have a soul. If you look into his eyes, there's a saying, God gives you the eyes so that you may recognize your serpents. That's our intuition, you know. You recognize your serpents. Look at this, like emotionless. Only feeling sorry for himself right now that he got caught. He really thought he wasn't going to get caught. That little scratch has started to fade away in that picture. I'm going to show you guys a video where it's really clear that he had a scratch on his neck. So that's it. I hope this helped everyone. And I really do apologize for getting emotional. Usually I can hold myself back from that. But when it involves a pregnant mother, a beautiful soul, and innocent children, a baby that can never even be born and the family didn't even get to see, that really affects me. And like others, it affects others, and this is why everyone is watching the case and wanting to see, you know, and wanting to learn everything. The reason why I'm doing these videos, guys, is also bringing awareness. This is domestic violence, okay? You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. No one knows what goes on behind closed doors, okay? Also, I have men that also view my videos, and I appreciate it. And this can happen to men too. They can be in a domestic violence situation also. They're not excluded from domestic violence. A lot of the women that have subscribed to my channel, it is a lot of women, and the percentage of women, I see a lot of women that do watch my channel. I want you guys to know that there are warning signs, okay? And trust your instincts. When you start to feel like something isn't right, something isn't right. Your intuition is telling you. Also, if you're in a domestic violence situation right now, be careful. Don't ever let them know that you have any plans to leave. Just tell them what they want to hear. Because the minute they're on to that, you're in danger. You're in serious danger. It is extremely dangerous for you. They cannot know that, okay? Later, I'll get into my story of why I am a victim's advocate and why my heart and soul is into this. I think we all have stories, and I too have one. So I will do a video that is going to help women in domestic violence situations and also men. You know, like I said, men are in it too. You wouldn't believe it, but they are. There are men victims that are in domestic violence also. So, again, I hope this helps. And I want to apologize for letting my emotions get to me. Sorry, guys. Thanks.